Hey there, fellow travelers. Welcome back to TravelVibes, where we turn every journey into smooth sailing. Let me ask you something. Have you ever breezed through security, only to get stopped at the last second because of that one item you didn't know was banned? Yeah, it's happened to the best of us. But in 2025, the rules have changed again, quietly and quickly. From hidden bans on power banks to surprising new restrictions on everyday items, one small mistake can mean delays, stress, or even missing your flight. So if you're a traveler who loves flying smart, packing light, or just hates surprises at TSA, you're in the right place. Stick around, because in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the latest banned items and the smartest ways to pack in 2025. And hey, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a travel tip again. Part 1. Hidden danger in your bag. Why power banks are on the radar in 2025. Let me take you inside a moment that changed airline safety overnight. It happened on a routine flight aboard Air Busan. Somewhere over the clouds, a passenger's phone charger, a portable power bank, suddenly burst into flames. Panic spread fast. The smell of smoke, the fear in the cabin. And just like that, a small device most of us carry became the focus of an urgent new travel rule. In 2025, several airlines across Asia and increasingly around the world have responded with strict new policies. You can still bring a power bank on your flight, but by using it, that's where things get tricky. Many airlines now ban mid-flight charging, no matter how low your battery gets. Plugging your phone into a power bank during flight could now land you in serious trouble. And it's not just about usage. Where you pack your power bank matters just as much. Overhead bins? Off-limits? Checked luggage? Absolutely not. If you're flying in 2025, your power bank must stay in your personal item, the bag under the seat in front of you. Why? Because that's the only place where flight attendants can spot trouble fast. This isn't about overreacting. It's about preventing a phenomenon called thermal runaway, a dangerous chain reaction where a battery overheats, then ignites, and once it starts, there's no stopping it. If you're like many US-based travelers, frequent flyers, weekend warriors, or even first-time family vacationers, you probably carry a power bank out of habit. It's convenient, essential, and small enough to forget. But in 2025, it's exactly the kind of item that can make or break your airport experience. Ready to learn how to fly smarter? Let's keep going. Part 2. Battery rules you didn't know you were breaking. Now that we've unpacked the power bank issue, let's zoom in on something even more technical, but just as important, your battery limits. Sounds boring? Stay with me. This is where most travelers slip up. You see, not all batteries are treated the same by airport security or airlines. If you're flying from, to, or within the US, the FAA has made it crystal clear. You are allowed to bring lithium-ion batteries only if they're under 100 watt-hours. That includes the battery in your power bank, your laptop, and even some camera gear. But if you go over that limit, you may be told to leave it behind. Or worse, you may never even make it through security. Here's where it gets tricky for most casual travelers. You might not even know what kind of battery your device uses. Most portable chargers run on lithium-ion, the kind known for holding a lot of power in a small size, but they can also overheat fast. On the other hand, dry batteries like AA and AAA, totally safe. You can toss them in your carry-on or checked luggage with no problem. Still not convinced this matters? Let me jog your memory. Remember the buzz around the Away suitcase a few years ago? The stylish smart luggage with a built-in charger? Well, once the FAA updated its guidelines, the TSA cracked down hard. Travelers were forced to remove the power bank before flying or risk having their bag denied altogether. That's how serious this issue became. So whether you're a digital nomad flying coast to coast, a retiree traveling with a CPAP machine, or a college student heading home for the holidays, this tip applies to you. Don't just pack your gear, know what's powering it. Because in 2025, ignorance isn't an excuse. It's a delay waiting to happen. Part 3. Surprising items that could get you stopped at security. You've triple-checked your liquids, packed your chargers just right, and even weighed your bag to the ounce. But what if I told you some perfectly legal items at home could get you flagged, delayed, or worse, turned away at the gate? In 2025, U.S. airport security is tighter than ever. And travelers, especially the well-meaning ones, are still getting tripped up by items they thought were harmless. Let's talk about a few you absolutely shouldn't bring, even if they seem like no big deal. First, high-proof alcohol. If your whiskey or vodka is stronger than 140 proof, think 70% alcohol or more, it's banned in both your carry-on and your checked luggage. Why? Because it's flammable. One spark, and it's a flying fire hazard. TSA isn't trying to ruin your vacation, they're trying to keep you safe. Next, bear spray. Sounds like something only hikers in Montana carry, right? Well, you'd be surprised how many people pack it just in case. But TSA sees it as a pressurized weapon, and you won't even make it past the X-ray belt. Then there's chlorine, the pool chemical. Maybe you've got a spa rental coming up, or maybe you're a traveling pool tech. Doesn't matter. It's considered a hazardous material and is completely banned in all luggage. And here's a wild one. Homemade fireworks or novelty explosives. Yes, even the little ones from roadside stands. Every year someone thinks they can sneak them through. Every year, TSA reminds them why that's a terrible idea. Just last month, a passenger in Texas lost their entire checked bag because of a single bottle of overproof rum. And a young couple flying to Colorado had their weekend trip delayed 2 hours because of a mislabeled can of pepper spray. So if you're a casual vacationer, a festival goer, a road tripper hopping on your first flight, or just someone who likes to be overprepared, double-check your bag before heading to the airport. Because sometimes it's the things you didn't think twice about that end up grounding your trip. Part 4. Overheating electronics. The silent travel threat you might be ignoring. Here's something most travelers don't think about until it's too late. You're sitting at the gate, charging your phone with a power bank when you notice it's unusually warm. Maybe even hot to the touch. You ignore it. After all, it's been a long day and you need your phone at 100%. But here's the truth. Overheating electronics are one of the most overlooked safety risks in modern air travel. In 2025, with more devices and more power packed into smaller gadgets, heat buildup is no joke. If your power bank starts to bulge, feel overly hot, change color, or give off a strange smell, that's a red flag. It may be on the verge of failure, or worse, a thermal runaway. That's the same dangerous reaction we talked about earlier, the kind that turns a simple device into a fire risk. If your phone ever feels like it's overheating while charging, unplug it immediately. Don't wait for it to cool down on its own. That small step could prevent a big problem, especially on a plane, where even a minor incident can become a major emergency. For travelers flying out of hot weather cities like Phoenix, Miami, or Las Vegas, or for anyone heading to the beach or hiking under the sun, external heat plus charging equals double trouble. That's why I recommend using an insulated phone case or heat-reflective pouch, especially if you're traveling in high temperatures. One brand even created a pouch inspired by astronaut suits. It sounds over the top until you realize it can stop your phone from reaching critical temperatures. So whether you're a casual traveler, a business flyer, or a parent juggling devices for the whole family, take one extra second to check your tech. Because the best trip is one that doesn't end with smoke and a flight diversion. Part 5. Pack smarter, not harder. Where to put your tech in 2025. Let's clear up a confusion that trips up even seasoned travelers. The difference between a carry-on and a personal item. They might seem interchangeable, but in 2025, knowing what goes where can make or break your boarding experience. Here's the rule of thumb. Your carry-on usually goes in the overhead bin. Your personal item, like a backpack, laptop bag, or tote, goes under the seat in front of you. Why does that matter? Because if you're flying with electronics, especially anything with a lithium battery, they should be stored in your personal item, not in your carry-on above your head, and absolutely not in your checked bag. Why? Easy access. If something starts to overheat, leak, or malfunction, you or a flight attendant need to reach it fast. If it's buried in the bin above you, or crammed into the belly of the plane, that delay could become a real danger. For travelers flying out of U.S. hubs like LAX, JFK, or Atlanta, where security is tight and cabin space is limited, organization is everything. That's why I always recommend packing cubes or tech organizers. They help separate your chargers, headphones, cables, and power banks into clearly labeled compartments, so you're not digging around when TSA asks to see your gear. Think of it this way. Your personal item is now your flight control center. It should hold everything you might need mid-air and everything you might be asked to show at security. From your phone to your meds, your ID to your earbuds, it all belongs where it's reachable, safe, and secure. This small shift in how you pack could save you time, hassle, and maybe even your flight. Part 6. Your power bank could be a lifesaver or a liability. Let's face it, most travelers in the US these days rely on their phones for everything. Digital boarding passes, airport maps, rideshare pickups, and keeping kids entertained mid-flight. So it makes sense that packing a power bank feels like second nature. But in 2025, not all chargers are created equal, and the one you pack could decide how smooth your trip goes. If you've been stuffing a bulky 20,000 mAh battery into your bag just in case, here's a pro tip. Go smaller. A high-capacity charger might sound like a smart move, but in reality, it's heavier, more prone to overheating, and more likely to raise eyebrows at security. Most everyday travelers, especially if you're flying domestically or have layovers with charging stations, won't need more than 10,000 mAh. That's enough to power your phone through a full day of moderate use, especially if you're using airplane mode. But capacity isn't the only thing to watch. Brand matters. Stick to trusted names like Anchor, Basis, or Belkin, brands that meet international safety standards and undergo rigorous testing. They may cost a few dollars more, but that peace of mind is worth it when you're cruising 35,000 feet above the ground. On the other hand, avoid ultra-cheap, no-name chargers, especially ones sold in convenience stores or through sketchy online listings. These often cut corners on safety, lack proper certifications, and are more likely to fail or even catch fire mid-use. If you're a budget-conscious traveler, a tech-savvy remote worker, or a parent prepping for a cross-country flight with kids and devices, choosing the right power bank is about more than convenience. It's about safety, efficiency, and being ready without being risky. Part 7. Airline secrets you won't hear at the check-in counter. So you've picked the right charger, packed it in the right bag, and even kept it under 100 watt-hours. You're golden. Well, not quite. Here's what many travelers don't realize. Each airline has its own set of hidden rules, often tucked away on hard-to-find pages of their websites. And in 2025, those details matter more than ever. Let's say you're flying domestically with Southwest or United, or internationally with EVA Air or Qatar. Even if your gear follows TSA guidelines, your specific airline might still have stricter rules, especially when it comes to lithium batteries, medical equipment, or unusual items like e-cigarettes and smart luggage. These restrictions can vary depending on aircraft type, flight duration, or even destination country laws. That's why before you fly, take a minute to run a simple Google search. Type your airline's name, followed by the item in question. Something like Delta Airlines lithium-ion battery policy will usually take you straight to the relevant page. No digging required. And don't forget the official TSA website. Head to tsa.gov, click What Can I Bring in the top right corner, and search for any item you're unsure about. There's even a section specifically for medical gear, which is especially helpful for older adults, caregivers, or anyone traveling with CPAP machines or insulin pumps. For American travelers who value efficiency, dislike delays, or simply want to avoid last-minute surprises at the gate, this is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. Check before you pack. Because what works on one airline might get flagged on another, and it's better to know from your couch than at the boarding gate. Part 8. Your 60-second travel tech checklist. Don't skip this. Alright, you've made it this far, and that already puts you ahead of most travelers. But before you zip up your suitcase and head for the airport, let's run through a final checklist, because even the most experienced flyers in the US, from busy business travelers to snowbird retirees, can overlook the smallest detail that leads to the biggest delays. First, double-check your power bank specs. Is it under 100 watt-hours? Good. If not, leave it at home or swap it for one that meets FAA guidelines. Next, remember this golden rule. Never put power banks or lithium-ion batteries in your checked luggage. Always carry them in your personal item where they're visible and accessible. It's not just a preference, it's a safety rule. Also, take a last look through your bag for anything questionable. That includes high-proof alcohol, bear spray, pool chemicals, or anything that could be misinterpreted at security. If you're even slightly unsure, leave it out or check TSA's website. Traveling with a medical device that uses a lithium battery, CPAP machine, portable oxygen, be sure it's clearly labeled and let the agent know before screening. It's quick, respectful, and keeps the process smooth for everyone. And finally, before every flight, check your airline's official site for the most up-to-date rules. Policies change often, especially if you're flying to destinations with additional import or battery restrictions. With this quick review, you're not just packing smarter, you're flying with confidence, clarity, and control. And that's exactly what every TravelVibes flyer deserves. Conclusion: fly confident, fly smarter. You're ready for 2025. So here's the truth. Air travel in 2025 isn't harder. It's just different. The rules may have changed quietly, but the risks they're designed to prevent, they're very real. A simple charger, a misplaced battery, or an overlooked item can unravel your whole trip before your plane even leaves the ground. But now, you know better. You've learned how to choose the right power bank, where to store it, what to pack, and what to leave behind, and how to outsmart those hidden airline policies no one warns you about. These aren't just tips, they're tools. Tools that give you control, save you time, and help you fly without fear or frustration. Because whether you're a frequent flyer with TSA pre-check, a first-time traveler chasing that bucket list dream, or a family planner trying to get everyone to grandma's, smart travelers prepare, not panic. So the next time you step up to that TSA checkpoint, you won't hesitate. You'll walk through with confidence, clarity, and maybe even a little nod to the people still fumbling through their bags. And if this video helped you feel even one step more prepared for your next adventure, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the TravelVibes community, where flying smarter is just the beginning. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.